Hello, my name is Wild Bill, and I want you to like and subscribe. I don't care whether you do or not. You know, if your mind is set on getting people to like you, then you're trying to please men, and you are no longer a servant of the Messiah. That's what the scripture says. So, like and subscribe if you want to. If you don't want to, that's fine. I'm still going to talk to my phone. It's my phone and I can talk to it. So, and I'm looking for the one, the disillusioned one that is listening, that he don't know or she don't know, but they're going to hear his voice, and they're going to come out of the sheepfolds of the false shepherds out there in the world, and they're going to hear his voice and come to him and follow him into those green pastures where they get fed good food instead of thistles and thorn bushes. So I want to talk to you just a minute or two or so about something that I don't hear much talked about, and kind of get off the false teachers and false prophets back for a minute. But morality. Do y'all hear people talk about morality anymore? It just seems like it's it's kind of in the haze out there somewhere, and people are just kind of, tolerating and putting up with this crazy stuff going on around us. And and here's another thing. I remember when my grandparents and my parents would say things like, man, this generation, they don't have any morals, and it gets worse and worse. And I'm sorry to say, but it does, and it is getting worse. It's not getting no better. And it shouldn't surprise us, and I want to say that what happens is entities and groups of people that are in charge, court systems and so on and so forth, all that, they are the ones that are changing the morals behind the scenes. They do it little by little, and they have no right to redefine morality. It was set up by the Creator, who created all things and gave life and breath to all things. And but they do it every day, and they say things like murder is not murder, and you're gonna have to think about these things. I hope that the people that I talk to, I hope that you're way, way, way smarter than me. And I know some of you are probably saying, well, we sure can talk better than you. Absolutely. Great. I'm glad to hear that. But I expect the people that I talk to be somewhat intelligent. You know what I'm saying? It's boring to have a conversation with, well, I'll move on. But they have usurped and undermined the authority that belongs only to God, the Creator of life, the Creator of marriage, the Creator of the family. And any attempt to change God's design is a form of rebellion and blasphemy. I mean, do you see that? I mean, the Creator made something a certain way, and somebody wants to flip it on its head. Is that not rebellion? And it won't be tolerated. Judgment is coming. I mean, it's blasphemy against God. It's blasphemy against His nature, His holy nature, His set-apart nature, His set-apart law, His set-apart people. The world system is taking a position against God, and it is energized by the sinful hearts of its leadership in any nation. And it's happening everywhere. It ain't just here in the good old USA. It's happening everywhere. Moral fiber is just being ripped to shreds by people in charge. And the rejoicing, you can hear it. I mean, it's amazing. And behind all this, we know what it is Satan. And you need to realize something. He is the God of this world. Yes, he is. And we need to know what side we're on. We're either for God and his ways, or we're for Satan and his ways and the way he's wanting to take things. And you need to remember now, Satan is the ruler of this world. People don't like to hear that, especially in churches today. In a lot of churches, they teach this dominion thing, and I know that's going to get a lot of hairs on people's heads stood straight up, and they're going to just, but I can prove it. I can prove it. You remember when Jesus was led out into the wilderness to be tempted? One of the temptations was Satan offered all the kingdoms of the world to him. He said, all this has been given to me, and I'll give it to you in all its glory, if you'll only bow down and worship me. All of this has been given into my authority, he said. And Jesus didn't rebuke. He didn't tell him he was lying about that. He just said, nope, I only worship one. Right? So the God of this world. And so it shouldn't surprise us, what's happening out there. I mean, he is the ruler of the unregenerate. He is the ruler and authority over spiritual wickedness in high places of authority on this earth. And he hates all that is good. He hates all that is pure, true, virtuous, holy. And so when we see morals decaying, it shouldn't surprise us. So what do? Well, later there in Ephesians chapter 6, we see Paul said, pray for me that utterance would be given to me, that I would open my mouth boldly and make known the mystery of the gospel. And then in 2 Corinthians chapter 10, he says, we walk in the flesh, but we don't war according to the flesh. The weapons of our warfare are mighty in God to the pulling down of strongholds. What? How does that work? We are destroying speculations in every lofty thing that is raised up against the knowledge of God, taking every thought captive. What are these speculations that build these fortresses? They are the lies and the false teachings out there, and the push for the moral fiber to be broken down. Judgment is pronounced on those that change his morality, though. Isaiah 5:20 talks about how woe, and every time you see the word woe in the Bible, it is judgment pronounced. And Jesus did that a lot with the scribes and Pharisees, didn't he? But he says, woe to those who call good evil and evil good, who replace light with darkness and darkness with light, bitter with sweet, and so on and so forth. So you going to bow down to all that mess that they projecting out there on us? Take all that with a grain of salt.